Morena and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before. Thank you for those ones that have subscribed, and if you haven't subscribed, if you want to, go for it. If you don't. This is going to be a little bit different to what I normally record. So normally I'm all about the tracks that I'm riding, heading out for adventures, but today I want to actually smash a few myths about this bike, among other things, and I want to go through the modifications that I've done on my bike and why I've done them, were they worthwhile, what's been good, what's been a waste of time, and what I recommend needs to be done, if any. So yeah, tune in. Right, first thing I want to smash is the comparison of the MT450 compared to the Himalayan 450. Look, I don't know what's a better bike, and I don't care. The bikes are both very capable and as good as each other. I was really close to buying an MT450. I love the sound of it. Hands down, sounds much better than the Himalayan. But over time, over the researching, I just decided that I wanted to go with a more simpler looking bike, and it reminds me of the old school bikes, like that bad boy over there that we're slowly tidying up, but a little bit more modern. And so that's the main reason that I went down this track, but I'd say that the 450 is just as good. If you're having issues with either bike, I'm going to say, and this is going to probably cause some controversy, that it is the rider, not the bike, because these are very capable bikes. My original plan was to get an adventure bike, to cut my teeth on it, to move from dirt bikes into adventure riding, see how I liked it, and then look at probably buying a 10A 700 or something similar. But I've loved this bike so much, the size of it has been fine, and we've taken it on some pretty gnarly tracks and it's handled it no worries, so I'm probably going to be holding on to this bike for a long time. Right, so the modifications that I've made, and I'll roughly go in order on how I've done them, or accessories, whatever you want to call it. So first thing, before I even rode the bike from the shop where I bought it from, I had the bark busters put on, just to save levers, really that simple. And that, is it essential? No. Is it a good idea? It's absolutely a good idea. Right, second modification I did, and I got this done at the time of the first service, the 500k service, is I had the rally bash card put on. That was because the first ride that I went on, I took it off road. I came back and I had scuff marks all over the bottom radiator hose. A lot of rider error in that is going from dirt bikes to this was very different, and I was hitting ruts which I'd normally just ride straight through on the dirt bike. That this being lower and wider was a little bit more tricky and took me by surprise. So it's peace of mind for me. Right, not long after that, I got the rally screen put on, something a little bit higher. I see a lot of chat and a lot of talk about the lack of wind protection on the Himalayan with that original screen, which I'm okay with actually, because if you look at the bike, it's a naked bike. Okay, you're gonna get very little wind protection. However, I tried the bigger screen just because my height, I'm quite tall, 6 foot, and it didn't matter what position I had the seat in, low or high, the wind was hitting under my helmet and getting real major head bobble. The taller screen managed to eliminate that. So look, I still get hit by the wind, still get wind buffering, but it's just made it that little more comfortable. All had the complaints about the original tyres. I found the original tyres pretty good on road. I thought they were fantastic on road, and then not too bad on gravel, and then dirt and grass. I had not much control at all, but I could still get through to where I needed to get to. However, with winter coming on in New Zealand, I wanted to go to something a little bit more aggressive, so I went with the TKC 70 Rock, which has been really good. Really enjoyed it. The front TKC 70, they don't do a rock for the front. Would like something a little bit more aggressive on the front, but it's still got me to everywhere I need to go, so I can't complain. Would I go with the rock again on the back? Probably not for the next tyre. I'm going to try something different. I don't know what yet. I might go a little bit more aggressive, but what puts me off these tyres is the price. Right, then when I got the tyres and started to bush bash a little bit more, I then eventually changed the mirrors, and that was just because they were getting smashed through trees. I didn't break any, but I got sick of having to tighten them up, or take them off and put them in my bag. And these little cheap things have been absolutely fantastic. And the view in the mirror is much better than what you get out of the original. So yeah, this was a nice little addition. Essential? No, not at all. More convenient? Yep, 100%. Right, the spotlights, the auxiliary lights. I actually had no thought of ever putting any lights on, because to me it's some extra stuff that can get broken off. Makes the bike a little bit more bulky. But when I went riding with a mate through Whirinaki Forest and he had some spotlights on, it was so much easier to spot him in my mirrors. That if I turned around, he really stood out. Right, and very recently I put on the Oxford heated grips. It's not something that I'd thought of before, but I got myself caught out. I had a early morning ride about 6 weeks ago, and it ended up freezing cold, and it was misty, and it was raining. My hands were so cold they were hurting. I had to stop, couldn't take my helmet off, and so bought some new gloves, went out for another ride. Just as cold, the gloves didn't help. Talked to a few people with a bit more experience in adventure riding, and they get some heated grips. Your hands will thank you for it. And I still wasn't convinced, and thought, well, I'm not buying another pair of gloves. I've got winter gloves. It can get well into -3, -4, -5 where we are in New Zealand. So thought, hey, why not try it? And they have been worth their weight in gold. Absolutely fantastic. I don't think I would own another bike and not put them on. Just a couple of small additions that I've added is this mount, so I can put my phone up a little bit higher, just so I'm not taking my eyes off the road. Rather than looking down, I did have it mounted on the handlebars for when I'm using maps. I just noticed that if I'd missed a turn or something like that, I was concentrating on the map, not the road, and that's in a great position. Same time I got that little headlight guard. Yeah, does the trick. Now these have been my last addition. The short levers, definitely 100% not essential, but they fit really well. They are made for the Himalayan 450. But yeah, I struggled. I've got 2XL hands, and I was struggling to get my fingers up and over the brake lever or clutch lever if I needed them in a hurry. This makes it so much more easier, and they're adjustable too, which is good. Sorry, there was one more addition that I made, and it's actually surprised me as I put the rally seat on. Some of the single tracks that I rode, I was just struggling with how wide the original seat was. I've never had any trouble with the comfort of the original seat. I know there's been a few complaints out there, but everyone's different, but it was fine for me. I just wanted to try the rally seat for when we're going a little bit more rougher off-road. It's really comfortable, a lot more comfortable than what I was expecting, and it takes about 30 seconds to switch between this seat and the original. I haven't gone with the plastics, with the tail tidy, and just so I can swap over. But I done an all-day ride on this seat yesterday. It was nothing gnarly. It was about 4 hours in total on the road and probably another 3-4 hours on gravel, just cruisy gravel. I'll post that video soon, but yeah, I was surprised about how comfortable it was. So I probably won't be swapping the seats around that often. It has put me up a little bit higher again, so not high enough that the wind's now hitting me under the helmet, but it's just made me reconsider whether I can do anything up the front. But otherwise, how I've got this bike set up right now is how I'll be riding it for the next little while. That's including the bags. This is the setup that pretty much stays on the bike. Camera, food goes in that bag, and obviously the drink bottle, tools that are in that bag, or additional tools to the ones that are under the seat. And this is, I carry rain gear, and it's just a bag that I can, as I take layers off, I can chuck it in there. Speaking of this bag too, it says it's 15 litres. I think it's a lot more. And then the other bags that I have, if I'm going to do longer trips, overnighters, are those Rhino Walk there, and they've been absolutely fantastic. I had them pretty much just set up permanently on the bike, and ended up ripping one of the pockets off because I was going through some single tracks and caught a branch, so thought, well, they are really good bags, they sit on really well, and I didn't want to wreck them, so that's why I bought that. And I didn't need those, they hold about 50 litres in total. I didn't need to be carrying that much around for day trips. Yeah, I don't know what changes or accessories I'll do in the future, because originally I was going to do bugger all, but I kind of just kept going, and I've been enjoying what I've been doing, and there has been a bit of a purpose for everything, but there is nothing 100% essential. You could buy the stock standard bike from the shop, throw your leg over, ride it, take it off-road, and enjoy it. Right, again, thank you for listening in, thank you for subscribing. Remember, this is all pretty much personal opinion, really. This is what I've done, and I've told you why. There's nothing wrong with just buying something for your bike and sticking it on just because you think it looks better. What you do to your bike is completely personal. If you think there's stuff that I need to do, man, chuck a comment in. If there's stuff that you think, hey, that's a real waste of time, just comment, because it's all learning. So yeah, get out there. Yeah, feel free to comment, but throw your leg over your bike, go for a ride, and whatever it is, just enjoy it. And remember, I know this sounds a little bit harsh, but so many times we're blaming things on the bike, but it really is just rider ability. Most bikes out there are really, really capable. As long as you've got the right bike for what you're doing, that should do it. But hey, have fun accessorising, have fun modernising.